Um,
I just started that. Sorry.
no problem, no problem. I've
Start
been
again.
Yep, that's okay. Yep, I started real estate. Well, I started sub two years ago. Been interested in real estate for a long time. I've been self-employed for, we'll just say, all of my life pretty much now. I'm 48. Started I started working either as a contractor, subcontractor when I was 24. So
Okay.
then my wife got a small inheritance. COVID happened. We live in Minneapolis. We're originally from Michigan. We want to move back to Michigan in about 3 to 5 years or so. And COVID hit. We've been here for about 4 years. I had a one-to-one client service where I work with athletes, and it really slowed my business down. I was able to survive, and then I was like, it gave me a lot of opportunity to think. My wife got an inheritance from her aunt and uncle, and we talked about it a bit. We talked about real estate investing, and I joined Sub 2. We wholesale here in the Twin Cities. I've done one flip. I'm looking for more flips. And really the thing with PMLs or PMPs or even Gators really is just to help me do more flips, help me to get into more things.
Right.
And then my one partner is an agent, and my GC or my contractor has been involved with, skilled trades since '97 and has been a GC for the past 10 years. So,
right. Okay. So you're really in your comfort zone, are you? Because you've been doing like construction for a while, so you want to do the fix and flips. Is that the idea?
well, so I've never done any construction work. So my general contractor, I have a general contractor that does
I
all that
see.
stuff.
Okay.
So the real reason for the fix and flips is just to help me to level out a little bit of the income
Yeah.
from wholesaling as well,
I
and
see.
then also get more experience with going into a property, looking at a property, how much work does it need, like being able to underwrite a property, so that when we do get buy and holds eventually, we're able to do that with an amount, a reasonable amount of confidence because we've done enough flips.
Okay, yeah. And where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? What will be, long
So
term?
yeah, I joined. You've probably heard the book Who Not How.
Yep.
Yep. So the guy that co-wrote that book is a guy by the name of Dan Sullivan. He's got a business coaching consulting group called Strategic Coach. I joined Strategic Coach last October, and the goal of Strategic Coach is to help you to create self-managing companies. So I want to have a real estate company where my wife is a nurse practitioner, nurse midwife. 24-hour call is killing her.
Wow.
So I want to get her out of doing call, or I want to give her the option to work when she wants to work.
Right.
We want, like I said, we want to move back to Michigan. We want to move up to the northwest corner of Michigan, up in Traverse City, Michigan. I've practiced martial arts for half my life, and I want to open a jiu-jitsu school up there. And then my other real big burning desire is I want to help. I'm from Michigan. I have a deep love for my home state. I want to help out. I want to help seed fund small businesses in places like Flint and Detroit and Kalamazoo, places where there was amazing things going on 100 years ago at this time. Flint and Detroit were the epicenter of the country, and now downtown Detroit is getting a lot better. Yeah. But still, the only way for those things to really come out of where they're at is through small business. So I want to help mentor and seed fund and things like that, small businesses, because especially like Flint, there's no big corporation that's going into Flint. So they literally have to bootstrap their way out of it. And luckily, they're people from Michigan, especially in my generation, are younger, are pretty resilient folk, because we've seen economic downturns that the rest of the country can't even imagine. So
Yeah. Sounds like you got quite a heart for Michigan, you know, which is
No, I
great.
love Michigan. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the people there. It took me moving here 8 years ago to
mm,
really realize how great the people from my home state are.
yeah, that's fantastic. I've flown over Michigan a few times. And,
Do you wave?
yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't really explored it much. But I did have my previous wife, who died in 2017. She came from Michigan, Ann Harbor,
Oh,
that area. Yeah,
Benton Harbor.
yeah, Ann Harbor. Yeah,
Oh, Ann Arbor. Yeah,
yeah.
I grew up 20 miles north of Ann Arbor.
Okay, very good.
I
Yeah.
spent lots and lots and lots and lots of time in Ann Arbor as a kid.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
she was from there, but yeah. Well, my story is I've been in this game over 20 years. I cut
Nice.
my teeth on calling sheets, no money down.
Yeah, I bought that. What I bought that in 2003.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yep,
about that time when I
yep,
started my business. So there we
yep,
go.
yep.
That's interesting. Did you actually do the course or did you put it on your shelf like most people?
I went through it a little bit, and I was starting another business at the time, and
Yeah.
so
Okay.
and didn't have. I lived in a small community, so
Yeah.
trying to navigate it all wasn't an easy thing for me. So
Right, right, right.
it eventually
Well,
went on my shelf.
yeah, well, I tore into it,
Yeah.
and within weeks I was touring around Knoxville. That's
Okay.
where I am right
Yep.
now. I didn't know anybody apart from the
Sure.
bride, which came to me, so, and actually we'd already got married in England, but she's from here, so that's
Uh-huh.
why I came over here to settle. But yeah, mate, I quickly realized that single families weren't going to cut it.
Yep.
I wanted to make this a living. So I plunged in a deep end, got into small multifamily commercial,
Hmm.
5 units or above. Started with a 5 unit, two duplexes and single.
Wow. Wow.
No money out of pocket. In fact, got cash at closing, so got paid for the deal, which was
Damn.
fantastic.
Yeah.
A miracle really, because there was a a stranger in
Sure.
town. Nobody knew
Yeah.
me or could vouch for me, right?
Yeah. And you got a funny accent,
Yeah,
especially in
yes,
Knoxville, right? They have a
so,
funny accent, but your
yeah.
accent is funny to them.
So they must have been really, really distressed or something. Anyway, I got the deal, and that got me started. My second deal was a 24 unit.
Holy
And,
cow.
and again, it's a miracle. I don't know how it happened because I didn't have any credit and I had no
Sure.
money. And I go to this
Sure.
bank and ask them for first position on a 24 unit. So I must have done something right. I don't know what it
Right.
was, you know.
Right.
But I got it a first position there, and the seller carried a second, and just brought a tiny little bit of money to the table for closing. So I did have a little bit of skin in the game on that one.
Hmm.
And then I went from there. I leveraged up. I doubled the rents. I refinanced it, got a whole bunch
Hmm.
of money out, bought other complexes, ended up with over 100 doors at the peak, but made a whole bunch load of mistakes. And that's why I wrote this book called
Sure.
Tales from Real Estate Investing. And yeah, I mean, I wish I'd had my time again. I would have done a few things different, but
But wouldn't we all, though? I
yeah,
mean,
that's right. Yeah.
you don't know what you don't know until you don't know.
That's right. And if I
Yeah.
could travel back in time, I probably really wouldn't change anything because it's the
Hmm.
education.
Hmm.
And although I would change the 8 years of licking my wounds, and not
Sure.
and turn my back on real estate. And really, it wasn't until my wife died that I rediscovered my passion for real estate. And so I thought I'd play it safe, do the retail game. So I got my license again, and
Uh-huh.
but that really didn't develop very well. I mean, it did sell houses and things, but it wasn't a living wage. Didn't reach my goals or what have you. For the first time around, I wanted 500 doors and couldn't figure out how to get there. So
Sure.
last month, I found myself in a 3-day workshop all about large multifamilies, and it all made sense from what I've been through. the
Hmm.
scalability, the because it's a higher level, there's more protection
Yep.
in
Yep.
place, actually less risky, even though you're
Yep.
playing with much bigger dollar amount, eight,
Yep.
nine figure sums to purchase these things. But you're in a syndicate, so you got many more eyes on it. It's more
Mm-hmm.
analyzed more than probably the smaller deals would be. And it showed just how many different ways you could actually make money in this space.
Hmm.
So I decided to make that my niche. I'm going to write another book by the end of the year on demystifying commercial real estate in large multifamilies. So I'm going to bring that out. And I've also created a YouTube channel with the idea of well, I restarted it with the idea of creating community with an
Yep.
educational thread to it where people can
Yep.
ask questions. I can publish these interviews on there. We can create that community. So there is opportunity when we come across these deals, which maybe once or twice a year. So it's not like
Hmm.
hold your breath. But
Right.
when
Right.
they do come along, there is that window of opportunity to participate, on a passive level. If you wanted to
Hmm.
come in with other people you come across who want to deploy their money. So
Hmm.
that's really where I'm at, and I'd be more than happy, Sean, if you would like to um, be part of that YouTube.
Yeah. What's the channel?
Let me just bring that up for you. There we go. I'll put it in the chat for you. There we go. And one or two opportunities, if you do participate in them, can radically change your life, because we
Hmm.
talk about, just the EMD is six figures.
Hmm.
And so the distributions, depending on what you put in, of course, and I explain all that on the little videos I've done.
Hmm.
Um, can be life-changing money. Can give you
Hmm.
that lifestyle that you're looking for, retired
Sure.
wife, or she can
Sure.
choose what she wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you can still do your everything else, obviously,
Hmm.
because it doesn't take much time. It's
Right.
one niche in real estate that will give you the time freedom. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you doing any lending then?
If it's a clear deal that makes sense, yeah.
And then what
Can
are you looking what are you looking for in that are you looking for multifamily? Are you looking for fix and flip? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm not really focused too much on that. So if you have a
Okay.
deal, just present it if it
Okay.
makes sense, if it's short term, 3, 4 months sort of thing.
Hmm.
And the numbers make sense, then I'll certainly seriously consider it, because
Hmm.
the large multifamily is the long game, you see. So
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, but I wouldn't want to tie up my funds for longer than 6 months, really, uh,
Sure.
with that. So
So just about the time the average time of a flip then.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if it makes sense, I think fix and flip is a little bit on the risky side. I think we've enjoyed a nice long run up right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Since COVID, basically,
Hmm.
with all that stimulus. And I think,
Right.
everything in life is cyclical. So we do have
Right.
to
Of
look
course.
for the downside on that. Fix and flip is the riskiest when you're going
Hmm.
on the downside,
Hmm. Hmm.
quickly become upside down.
For sure.
Careful. So we would consider all that as
Hmm.
the election coming up. There's going to be a change in the economy. They're talking about cutting interest rates, but the government, if you've noticed, doesn't matter who's in power,
Doesn't
they're
matter.
always behind
Yeah.
the eight ball. They
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
react to what's happening and not proactive.
Agreed. Agreed.
And so
Agreed.
any interest rate change, whether it's up or down, is lagging. It
Yeah.
should have been done way before they
Yeah.
actually
Yeah. Yeah.
did that. So I think we're
Well,
going
and
into recession.
the interest rate is just painting lipstick on a pig. It's not really solving the problem. It just
Yeah,
makes it look like they're attempting to do something. The real
that's
big
right.
problem is the inventory.
It
I
really
mean,
is. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And that could be unlocked like and coming in like a flood because it's pent
Yep.
up. It's pent
Yep.
up demand. There's
Yep.
people in prison because of the low
Yep.
interest rates, you know.
Yep.
So that dam is going to bust one day, and
Yeah.
it's
It'll be interesting to see what happens if they, because the two things that I feel like people aren't really discussing at a high enough level, or really at any level, is one, we've just talked about inventory, and then two is the overperceived value of homes right now.
yes,
And so when you have the interest rate is not like, man, my parents in the 70s and the 80s would have given both of us a kiss on our ugly faces for a 6% interest rate.
yeah,
You know,
right,
at $70,000 or $100,000 or $50,000 or whatever that they were paying.
right.
You know, the interest rate isn't bad. It's just the fact that, you know,
Yeah, it
prices are so
doesn't.
high and there's a
You're
lack of
right,
inventory.
and it doesn't matter the
Right.
interest rate. What matters is the delta from what
Right.
people got in to what they
Right.
can get in now, and
Right.
it's a very strong delta. It's a
Yeah.
very short. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So that's what it does because you can't suddenly go to your boss and ask for that much of a pay rise. You know?
Correct.
So it's an
Yeah.
affordability issue.
Yeah.
People got in
100%.
at the low interest rates and they can't do it the higher one.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that'll change. That will change.
For sure. Like everything
Yeah.
does, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Like
right.
everything does. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying about fix and flips. We just have
Yep.
to be a little bit careful on that,
Yep.
you know, because when it happens, people are caught on the wrong side. I mean, both Pace and Jamil experienced it
Oh,
in
for sure.
2008,
Yeah.
2009. They were on the wrong
Dude,
side. Yeah.
I saw in Michigan, like whole developments stop
Right.
and not get built for 7, 8 years.
Mm. Yeah.
Like my son had a friend in when he was in kindergarten, and they lived in this development. And there was 3 houses in the development
Mm.
that was supposed to be 200, 300 houses.
Right.
And it literally looked like an 80s post-apocalyptic movie. And his house was the only one that was actually all together. The
Oh,
other
wow.
ones just had OSB on it. They just had sheeting on it. They didn't actually have any siding on it. So those other 2 houses were a loss.
Right.
So literally, they were the only one. I don't know if they bought the model or whatever it was, but
Right.
like
I
it was
see.
the craziest thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's been a real pleasure, Shawn. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on the call with me.
Yep.
Don't
Well,
hesitate to book another call with me if you like. It's been
Yeah.
a pleasure meeting you. And
yeah.
if you decide to subscribe to the channel, I'll see you in there and we
Yeah.
can converse and
Yeah.
make comments and what have you. Now, let's learn
Sure.
together and grow together, huh?
I would love to do that, man. Thank you so much.
You have a great day. Thank you,
You
Shawn.
too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.